Rock fans all around the world, welcome to another exciting episode of MPJ New Rock Album Review Show. Welcome to today's panel to Chris, to Lauren, to Andy, to Trish, to Paul. Welcome, gang.
Hello.
Hello. If you listen to the show for the first time, we review all the latest albums. We rate them out of 5, see if they get into a Hall of Fame, because at the end of the year, we also then do an album, top rock albums of the year show. Today's offering is The Speaker Wars and the self-titled album, The Speaker Wars. Lauren, let's start with you, shall we? Had you heard of them before? What did you think, Lauren?
So I hadn't heard of these guys before, and even from the cover, I went into it going, this looks like it's going to be a countryish sort of album, because it just had that look about it. And I was correct. I was very proud of myself in that. For me, I love a bit of country rock. If it's done well, it is absolutely superb. But this for me, it just felt very plain Jane. Like it's the sort of thing of where if I'm watching a TV show or something set in the south of the US, or if I go there myself, it's the sort of thing you'd hear in a bar, and it's easy listening, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing that's going to make me stop, listen, and I feel like I need to sing along to it and get right in amongst it and sort of just lose myself within it. Like I said, though, that's not to say it's not good. Just for me, it's like it's okay. I've heard the genre done extremely well before, and so in comparison, when I think about it compared to everything else, it just sort of hits a middle mark that for me is like, okay, yeah, cool, it is what it is, but it's not going to be the first thing I think of when someone says, "Do you want to listen to some country vibes that your sort of thing?" But yeah, so overall it's okay.
Somebody who is also average, okay. Chris.
The love is back. We do seem to be on quite the same wavelength this month. So Speaker Wars is there's rock, there's country, there's a small amount of pop in there as well, which I thought was a bit strange. And it's a versatile album. There's a lot of stuff in there, and it moves around quite a bit while keeping the sort of I think it's Nashville, Tennessee that we're sort of working for the style of music. It felt almost like they put too much in. They didn't focus on a particular genre, so because they've tried to add a few bits and find their own sound within that, it then as Lauren was saying, it doesn't quite hit a particular type of music. So I wouldn't say it's a country album. Yeah, we've all got a friend, Matt, who likes country. I don't think he'll like it at all. But then, I wouldn't also say it's a rock album because there's too much country in there. There's a bit too much pop in there to sort of balance it all out. Some of it did put me in mind of some music from like the Eagles and the Traveling Wilburys, where they do a really, really good job of layering the tracks and the vocals tones in there as well, especially with the instruments. It Ain't Easy, I think, is the standout track for me, just from the way they structured it so well. And this is, I think I've mentioned it a couple of times before, that there's a point where if I listened to this at the right time, I would really like this album. But this wasn't what I was looking for this month. And so it's, based on, we rate based on how much we enjoyed it this month. It wasn't for me. I think in other months, it might get a higher vote. But yeah, so it's just one of those, I can't quite put my finger on it. And because I can't, I didn't like it as much as I possibly could do.
Some people could say that about Trish, but we won today. We won, will we, Trish? Speaker Wars, Trish?
So, on listen to this album, it screams out to me Tom Petty sound vocally from the lead singer, especially on the track You Make Every Lie Come True. Hopefully he will see that as a compliment. The songs flowed well for this easy listening album, and that's just what it was for me. I have on in the background kind of music. Nothing stood out for me to make it a go-to album for me that I would choose to put on, but I wouldn't turn it off if it was on. I guess that's just my personal taste. I prefer an album to have a bit more attack and gritty.
Some say you definitely turn Paul off when he talks, but let's find out, shall we? Paul!
Okay, I think you're clutching at straws.
Straws and thinner than a straw. I'm clutching at butterflies in the sky, brother. And I can't catch them. I don't have a net.
Okay, so the Speaker's Wars album cover, I found confusing because there was just one speaker with a pair of wings on it, and I just thought, what are you trying to say? But anyway, the driving force, you may be surprised, behind Speaker Wars is Stan Lynch, the drummer and backing vocalist of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. He's also a talented songwriter, with Don Henley of the Eagles being on his list of credentials. The self-titled album then is no departure from the type of material the Heartbreakers and Don Henley have previously churned out. That's not to say that this, in my opinion, I would call it a classic soft rock album, is poor. On the contrary, it was well produced and performed with great songs. For me, as Trish said, it just lacks the energy I look for in a rock album.
Somebody, you could say obviously Andy lacks energy. Let's hope he can turn that around today. And Andy, what did you think?
I don't know about the energy vibe, but I'm going to bring the positivity to it because I actually really enjoyed this one. It's a better listen, obviously, than sort of like hard rock. Absolutely, it's a bit more mature, older listen to. Obviously, like the DNA and the heritage sort of like flows through it. You said you've got the drummer from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, which goes through lots of vibes from Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, Eagles. It all flows through into this. I thought there were some really great tracks on this. You said It Ain't Easy was fantastic. One I actually really enjoyed was actually Forgiveness Tree. I thought that was really warm sounding, sort of classic. Lots of Bruce Springsteen in that one, I think, absolutely 100%. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's not, you're not going to be rushing around to this one. But it was, I thought, very strong, great musicianship in it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it throughout.
I completely agree with Andy. Absolutely agree with Andy fully. I think I also agree with Chris. I think you've got to be kind of definitely in the mood for this time. We play a lot of board games, and sometimes I have a thing. I like train games, and I have an itch, and I want to play it, and then sometimes I just don't. I just don't want to play it. And I liken this to whatever, and it's when you go last, and everybody's pretty much resonate what you say. But the album starts with Tom Petty and ends up with Chris Stapleton, in that kind of vibe, and it kind of goes through that one. But I think for me is if you do like a nice kind of, and it ends up full country. You start off with more country rock, and it ends up definitely very much a country kind of album, and as it metamorphosises its way through. Sit With My Soul is such a gorgeous track, as is Never Ready to Go. Really, I mean, I think you've got to be in the mood, and you've got to be kind of, just kind of absorb it in kind of many ways. It wasn't perfect, but I enjoyed it. It was I relaxed when I listened to this album, and I think maybe I appreciate it more because I had to listen to goddamn so much metalcore that I then would switch to this album, and it would ease and ease me kind of back into it. There's some beautiful moments in there. I didn't mind Tom Petty and the Travel Wilburys. I kind of liked them, but I would get a bit bored. So on that side of it. But I kind of I don't know, I just liked it. It was nice. Nice album. Right, okay. Will it be enough to get into our Hall of Fame? Let's find out then. Let's start with the delightful Lauren.
I gave it a 2.5.
Funny enough, Chris.
I gave it a 2.5 as well.
Trish.
I gave it a 2.5 as well.
Paul.
I would guess.
Oh, I don't need to, Paul. I can see what you...
I give it a 2.5.
Oh my God! Andy.
I'm going to bring the positivity and give it a 4.
And I'm going to join you in that 4, Andy. I'm going to join you in that 4 as well. Well, as Paul is in such a role at the minute, we did drop him. We did. So, Lauren, goodbye to your paltry 2.5. Paul,
I'm sorry, Nigel. I'm going to interrupt you for just a second. As I was saying, this album does not deserve a 2.5 from so many people. I think it's just where we are at
agree.
this point in the year and this point in the month and all that sort of stuff. It's just the fact of it hit where it hit right now, and other times I think it would hit better. It's just a.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree entirely. Hence why
It's what it is.
It is what it is. It's for our listening pleasure. It's as simple as that. So got 3.1, which it's 374th out of 546 albums. It's a decent score, but yeah, in this year in particular has been very, very good, and I think it's definitely an album that is going to either tick your boxes. I mean, I sent it to Matt. I think I don't know what he thought of it. I thought it was right up his alley in terms of our country aficionado. But anyway, well done. Do you agree, disagree? Hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. In the meantime, thank you very much to my panel today, to Chris, to Lauren, to Andy, to Trish, and to Paul. Keep on rocking.